All right, let's talk about something that I think drives all of us crazy. Why is it that super smart people, and I mean brilliant teams, the best of the best, can sometimes make just, well, spectacularly dumb decisions? I mean, we've all been in that room, right? You've got the charts, you've got the buy-in, everybody's nodding along, the plan looks absolutely perfect on paper, and then it hits the real world and just tanks. Total failure.
So, what is going on here? How can a project with all the smartest people, with all the data in the world, still go so completely off the rails?
Well, here's the thing. The problem usually isn't about the talent in the room. It's not even about the data. The breakdown happens way before the final decision is ever made. It happens in the thinking itself. Okay, here's the uncomfortable truth. Your brain, as amazing as it is, has these, let's call them hidden autopilot settings. And a lot of the time, they're actively working against you, hijacking your judgment right when you need it most. Let's just call these settings what they really are. They're basically 4 lies your brain tells you. These are the sneaky defaults that take over your reasoning without you even noticing. So what are they? Let's break them down. First up, you've got the emotional default. Now this one's tricky. It doesn't shout, it just whispers. Oh, this feels right. It's that gut feeling that's actually just fear of missing out, or that wave of excitement that you mistake for a solid business case. It's not strategy, it's just panic wearing a suit. And then there's the ego default. Oh man, this one is dangerous because it feels like conviction. This is when someone defends a failing idea, not because the data supports it, but because changing course would mean admitting they were wrong. And that kind of conviction, it can cost you a whole lot more than just your pride.
Ah, yes, the social default. This is the reason so many obviously bad ideas get greenlit in meetings. You see the problem, right? You know deep down it's not going to work, but everyone else is nodding, the momentum is there, and you don't want to be that person who kills the vibe. So you stay quiet. And then a few weeks later, everyone's asking, how did we all miss that? The thing is, you didn't miss it. You just didn't say it.
And finally, we have the silent killer of innovation, the inertia default. This is when you ask, hey, why do we do it this way? And the only answer you can get back is a shrug and, I don't know, that's just how it's always been done. That's not a process, my friend. That's just momentum pretending to be a plan. So, if our brains are basically hardwired with these defaults, what are we supposed to do? How do we fight back? Well, believe it or not, the antidote is deceptively simple. It's one little trick that helps you grab the controls back from that faulty autopilot. It all boils down to this: 3 seconds. That's it. Just 3. It's the simple, powerful act of creating a pause before you react, before you agree, before you jump in. And this quote just nails why that pause is so powerful. In those 3 seconds, you create a little bit of space. And in that space, you can ask yourself, wait a minute, am I actually thinking right now, or am I just reacting? That tiny little gap, that's where good judgment is born. Okay, so what do you actually do in that 3-second pause? Well, you pull out your tools. Think of it like a mental toolkit, or even better, a suit of mental armor, designed to cut through the noise and enforce some clarity. These 5 frameworks are your new best friends. They're battle-tested ways of thinking that can help you cut through all the chaos. We're going to quickly unpack the first 3, because you can literally start using them today to make better decisions. First up, inversion. So instead of asking the usual question, how do we make this succeed? You flip it completely on its head. You ask, what would absolutely guarantee that this thing fails? See, your brain is actually way better at spotting problems than it is at imagining success. If you list out all the ways it could blow up, you can start building defenses against those risks from day one. Next, we have Hanlon's razor. The basic idea is this: never assume someone's out to get you when it's much more likely they're just busy or disorganized. You know that colleague who missed a deadline? They probably weren't trying to sabotage you. They were probably just swamped. Honestly, this one model alone could save so many workplace relationships. And then there's good old Occam's razor. When something breaks, our minds love to jump to these really complex, dramatic explanations. But before you start hunting for ghosts in the machine, just check the simple stuff first. It's probably not some sophisticated hack. It's probably a typo in a config file. 9 times out of 10, the simplest answer is the right one.
So, knowing these tools is great, but that's only half the battle, right? How do you actually get yourself to use them and turn this from theory into a real daily practice?
You gotta start small. Seriously, put a sticky note on your computer monitor that just says pause. It sounds silly, but it works. Try using these models on really low-stakes decisions first, like what to make for dinner, before you try to apply them to some huge project. Maybe pick just one model, like Hanlon's razor, and really focus on using it for one whole week. It's all about building the habit.
And this really is the big takeaway. We live in a world that is obsessed with moving fast, but we forget that clarity is so much more important. Speed just helps you get to the wrong place faster. Clarity makes sure you're pointed in the right direction to begin with.
So I'll just leave you with this question to think about for the rest of the week. What's one decision coming up where you can hit that pause button, interrupt the autopilot, and make sure that the smart person in the room, which is you, makes an equally smart choice?